Throughout the centuries, humanity has carried a burden that the tools of labor cannot explain. It is not the common fatigue of muscles, but the silent anguish of those who wait for something that the world around them insists will not come. It is a dense, almost palpable feeling that many of us, perhaps for lack of better words, simply call discouragement. However, millennia-old records, such as the fragments attributed to Thoth, the scribe whom the ancient Egyptians believed to be the guardian of cosmic balance, suggest a different perspective. This exhaustion would not be a void, but a saturation. There is something profoundly human and, at the same time, sacred in this waiting. The idea that the human body acts as a lightning rod for energies that we do not yet know how to name. What we are observing now are three clear physical signs, marks in biology and perception, indicating that this long guard is finally crumbling. The event is no longer a distant promise, but something that has already begun to be woven into the present. For those who understand that the time for mere observation has passed, the transition demands more than patience, it demands recognition. History shows us that when the weight becomes unbearable, it is because the movement has already begun. To those who feel the call of this reality, leave a comment. The vigil is over. The signal before the event. There is a kind of weariness that doesn't come from effort, but from waiting. An exhaustion that accumulates not from days of work, but from nights of silent faith, when the world around seems to deny the promise you carry. It's a weight on the soul, a stillness bordering on giving up. If this feeling resonates with you, you didn't imagine it. It's the first sign, the marker that the long vigil is in fact ending. This is not the weariness of failure, it is the exhaustion of completion. Think of it as the pressure that builds up deep within the earth before a diamond forms. What you felt as an unbearable weight was, in fact, the accumulation of energy, the preparation for an event that cannot be rushed, only received at the right time and with the correct internal structure to support it. You remained true to yourself without applause, choosing the longer path because you felt it was the right one, even when the shortcut seemed tempting. This silent loyalty to yourself, this faith kept behind closed doors, was not in vain. Each act of integrity was a brick laid in the foundation of what is to come. The universe wasn't testing your patience, it was measuring your capacity to sustain what was asked of you. The practice is now simple, almost imperceptible. At the end of the day, before going to sleep, place your hand on your chest and simply acknowledge this tiredness. Don't fight it, don't judge it. Just say internally, I see you. I know what you mean. This act of acknowledgement changes the chemistry of waiting. It transforms anxiety into acceptance, doubt into readiness. It's a subtle but powerful realignment. The energy that accumulated during this period of silence is reaching a critical mass point. The silence was not abandonment, it was containment. It was the universe preventing you from moving too soon, from accepting less than what was being prepared. The absence of external movement was a sign of the most intense internal activity, a profound recalibration in your energy field. The feeling that something is about to happen is not a fantasy. It is your perception finally catching up with the reality that is already in motion on the unseen planes. You are no longer just waiting. You are in the anteroom of the event. And what was once a distant whisper now becomes a clear sound, a vibration that your whole body recognizes. The waiting was not a pause in your life. It was life itself, realigning itself for you. And here is the secret that most seekers ignore. There is no point in trying to operate a high-frequency consciousness in a body that still vibrates at the density of survival. It is like trying to run an ultra-powerful software program on an old computer. The system crashes. Hermetic alchemy teaches us that the body is not a burden, but a temple that needs to be transformed into a superconductor. If you feel that your mind is ready, but your body is exhausted or drained by this waiting, it is a sign that you need to adjust your biology to support this new voltage. There is ancient, practical, and straightforward knowledge that I compiled into an ebook, and it is focused exactly on preparing your physical vehicle to anchor this light without burning out. If you want to understand how to apply this alchemy of the body and stop feeling this physical weight, I left the path to this knowledge in the first pinned comment. It is the manual that transforms exhaustion into vitality. The Mirror of Thoth. Ancient traditions, whispered in texts that have survived the test of time, speak of great cycles. They teach us that cosmic events are always preceded by internal changes in human perception. Thoth, the scribe of the Egyptian gods, the guardian of knowledge, is said to have warned of a time when the veil between the worlds would thin. Not as an external cataclysm, but as an activation that happens first from within. What you are experiencing is not random chaos, but the decoding of a new reality. The long wait, the feeling of being out of sync, was the process of tuning your perception to what is to come. Your eyes were being trained to see beyond the obvious, your ears to hear beyond the noise. You were not standing still, you were becoming an instrument capable of reading signs that others cannot see. This thinning of the veil means that the distance between cause and effect is drastically decreasing. The laws of the universe, which have always operated in the background, are now visible on the surface of your life. Synchronicities are no longer happy accidents. They are the explicit language of an invisible order confirming that you are on the right path. They are the reflection in the mirror of Thoth, showing that the inner and outer are beginning to align. The practice for this moment is mindful observation. Take a notebook and for 7 days, write down 3 things that seem too coincidental to ignore. A name you thought of and then heard immediately afterward. A solution that emerged from an unexpected source. A feeling that was confirmed by an external event. Don't try to interpret, just record it. This act of witnessing anchors the perception of the new reality. You are learning to read the world map with new eyes. Where there were once walls, now you begin to see doors. Where there was silence, now you hear an instruction. This change is not magic, it is perception. It is the direct result of your journey through waiting. You have been prepared to decode reality on a deeper level, to understand that the universe is not happening to you, but through you. What Thoth symbolizes is not merely knowledge, but the ability to record and manifest divine order in matter. Waiting was your initiation. Now you are no longer just a spectator of cosmic cycles. You have become a scribe of your own reality, ready to translate invisible energy into concrete experience. The approaching acceleration will demand this skill. You lived for too long, in the space between promise and proof, maintaining integrity when deviation was easier and quicker. This righteousness, this choice for truth even without witnesses, did not go unnoticed by the invisible order that governs cause and effect. Every no said to what wasn't meant for you was a resounding yes to what is now approaching, and this accumulated energy is about to be released. Now, time seems to contract. What once took years to manifest can now crystallize in months, weeks, or even days. This is not a fantasy, it's a shift in the physics of your personal reality. The acceleration is a direct result of your ability to endure the silence. You learn to contain energy, and now the universe trusts you to handle a much faster flow. This acceleration, however, is not for everyone. It is an express lane reserved for those who interpreted absence not as abandonment, but as divine restraint. It was what prevented them from entering doors too small for their destiny, from accepting proposals that would have led their soul astray. Silence was an act of protection, a cocoon that ensured their transformation was complete before they attempted to fly. The necessary action here is radical detachment from the how. Your mind will try to project the path based on the rules of old time, a slow and linear time. Resist this temptation. Whenever anxiety about the how arises, stop, take a deep breath, and say, "I trust in the speed of my alignment." This shifts your energy from trying to control to allowing the flow, which is the only way to navigate the acceleration. Think of it like a wave. You can't control its speed or strength, but you can learn to surf it. The waiting has taught you to balance on the board. Now, the wave is coming. Conversations, opportunities, and resources will begin to move at a pace that may seem overwhelming at first, but your internal system has been trained for it. You are ready. What is happening is a convergence. Loose threads in the fabric of your life are being pulled together, forming a cohesive and powerful pattern. The acceleration is not about doing more things, but about being the central point to which the right things are drawn at high speed. Your only job is to remain centered and not be frightened by how quickly miracles can happen. The tipping point. The exact moment you felt like giving up, when faith seemed like a dead weight and hope a distant memory, was the instant your preparation peaked. That's how the universe works. Not in ease, but in stubborn, almost exhausted faith. That near breaking point wasn't the end. It was the final tension of the bow before the arrow was released. It was proof that you were taking your transformation seriously. What is being prepared for you is not fragile. It is not temporary. It is solid, deserved, and above all, timed with divine precision. Blessings that arrive too early, before character is ready to sustain them, often depart just as quickly. They become lessons, not legacies. But those that arrive after the forging of resilience, those remain. They find a vessel strong enough to hold them. You were shaped not to let go of what you are about to receive. Every challenge, every delay, every moment of doubt was a stress test for your inner structure. The universe needed to know that you wouldn't misuse the gift, that you wouldn't break under the weight of the blessing. The waiting wasn't a punishment, it was a training of capacity. You were learning to hold the energy of abundance without leaks. The practice here is anticipatory gratitude, not for the thing itself, but for the character that was built in the waiting. Once a day, look in the mirror and acknowledge the person who survived. Say aloud, "I honor the strength that brought me here." This act anchors self-worth, which is the magnetic prerequisite for receiving what is valuable. You stop asking and begin to align yourself with what is already yours by right of character. The difference between what is fleeting and what is permanent lies in the foundation. You have spent years, perhaps decades, building an invisible foundation of integrity, resilience, and wisdom. Now, the structure is about to be erected upon that foundation, and because it is so solid, it will not be shaken by life's storms. What comes to you now is here to stay. This is the turning point. The narrative of despair reverses and becomes a story of deserving. Exhaustion reveals itself as the calm that precedes victory. You are no longer fighting to get somewhere. You have become the place where good things come. The quality of what is being built for you is a direct reflection of the quality of the person you became while waiting. Critical Window Protocol. We are entering a critical window, a rare and powerful period of alignment where actions, thoughts, and intentions carry multiplied weight. Navigating this time requires not just more effort, but fine-tuning. For this, a simple protocol is needed, a practical method to avoid missing this opportunity. It is based on two phases: observation and anchoring. The first phase is observation. Your only task is to become a synchronicity detective. Observe the signs the universe is sending you: vivid dreams that seem more real than life, unexpected encounters that open a door, repeating numbers that jump out at you. Don't overanalyze them. Don't try to force a meaning. Just record them. Keep a journal if necessary. The act of observing validates the communication. The second phase is anchoring. The energy that flows during this window is volatile. If it is not anchored, it dissipates. At the end of each day, find a moment of stillness. Take 3 deep breaths, feeling the air fill your lungs and calm your system. Then, with your hands on your heart or abdomen, affirm aloud or silently, "I receive what is being prepared for me. I am a safe vessel for this blessing." This 2-step practice aligns your energy field with the opportunities that are already converging toward you. The big paradigm shift here is that you stop chasing. Chasing stems from a belief in scarcity, from the idea that you need to run after what is yours. Anchoring stems from trust, from the certainty that what is yours is already on its way. This protocol is not a list of spiritual tasks, it's a recalibration of your operating mode. You move from a state of making things happen to a state of allowing things to happen. Observation trains your mind to see order in chaos. Anchoring trains your body to feel safe receiving, eliminating the unconscious self-sabotage that often arises when success is near. Perform this protocol daily during this critical window. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. Each day you practice, you strengthen your energetic signature, becoming a clearer and more magnetic target for the convergence that is underway. You are building a bridge between the invisible world of promise and the visible world of manifestation. What is coming your way will not need to be hunted, convinced, or forced. It will recognize you. The era of chasing, desperate striving, and exhausting self-promotion is ending for you. You are entering a phase of magnetic attraction where your only job is to be who you are, in your most authentic and grounded form. Recognition will be automatic. Your past choices, those made in solitude and silence, have accumulated a unique energetic signature. The decision for honesty over ease, for depth over noise, for long-term peace over immediate relief. Each of these choices emitted a frequency. Together, they created a resonance, a signature that now acts as a powerful and unmistakable beacon in the energy field. This beacon is now fully activated. The conversations you haven't yet had, the doors you never imagined existed, the financial relief you couldn't wait for, all of this is already in motion. It's not happening by chance, it's being guided by the light you emit, a light forged in the darkness of your waiting and polished by your integrity. The practice for integrating this new reality is that of active receptivity. When an opportunity or a compliment arrives, resist the impulse to deflect or minimize it. Breathe, look the person or situation in the eye and simply say, "Thank you, I receive it." This simple act trains your nervous system to accept that you are worthy, that you no longer need to shrink back or apologize for receiving good. You are shifting from the effort paradigm to the receiving paradigm. Effort says, "I need to prove my worth." Receiving says, "My worth is inherent, and I now allow the world to mirror it back to me." This is not a passive attitude. It is a state of powerful presence, an unwavering confidence that the pieces of the puzzle are coming to you, not the other way around. So stop running, stop trying so hard. The invisible alignment is in full motion and things are being drawn to you. Your job has changed. Now it's about expanding your capacity to receive, to become a safe harbor for the opportunities that are sailing your way. The chase is over. The time of attraction has begun. Calm before arrival. The weariness you feel now is different. It's not the acute despair of uncertainty, but the profound exhaustion of completion. It's the visceral feeling that something is finishing its work on you, like a sculptor putting the finishing touches on their masterpiece. This fatigue is not a sign that you should give up. It's a sign that you can finally rest, because the hardest part of the inner journey is complete. The universe doesn't announce its greatest arrivals with fireworks and trumpets, but with a profound and almost disconcerting stillness. A strange calm that settles after a long resistance, like silence in the eye of a hurricane. It's the moment when the struggle ceases, not because of defeat, but because the battle has already been won in the invisible realms. The external noise may continue, but inside something has quieted down. Pay attention to this state. It's the silent thought that arises in the middle of the day and says, "I don't know how, but I think I'll be okay." This isn't passive resignation, it's readiness. It's your spirit recognizing that the battlefield has been cleared and prepared for the landing of what was promised. It's the calm of someone who knows they no longer need to fight, only wait for the arrival. The practice here is to cultivate this stillness. Instead of filling every moment with noise, distractions, or worries, allow yourself spaces of silence. Sit for 5 minutes doing nothing. Just breathe and feel this strange calm. Don't question it. Just let it permeate your being. You are acclimating to the frequency of your new reality, which is a frequency of peace, not struggle. This state of readiness is magnetic. It signals to the universe that you are no longer in survival mode, but in receiving mode. The energy of despair repels blessings because it signals that the recipient is not ready. The energy of confident calm attracts because it demonstrates that the foundation is stable and can support the weight of what is to come. Don't confuse this calmness with apathy or lack of ambition. On the contrary, it is the most powerful form of power. It is the silent certainty of someone who knows they have done the inner work and now trusts in divine timing for external manifestation. Quietude is not emptiness. It is the space being created so that something new and grand can enter. What lies ahead is not merely an external reward, but an internal recognition. It is an event that will cause all the pieces of your journey to fall into place, and what previously made no sense will suddenly become as clear as day. It will arrive as a relief you didn't force, a provision that appears without the panic of the eve, a door that opens without you having to force it open. And when it happens, you will realize the true purpose of this long waiting period. It wasn't about breaking you. It was about teaching you to stand on your own 2 feet without relying on external results. It was intensive training for you to remember your own strength, your own divinity, your innate ability to co-create with the universe instead of just reacting to it. The waiting forced you to find resources within yourself that you didn't know you possessed. Patience became wisdom, loneliness became self-knowledge, blind faith became unwavering confidence. You weren't being punished, you were being forged into a master of your own energy, someone who no longer depends on the world's validation to know their worth. The practice for this awakening is retroactive recognition. When the first major manifestation arrives, take a moment. Look back at the path you've traveled, connect the dots, see how each failure was a lesson, each delay a protection. Give thanks not only for its arrival, but for the entire journey that made you the person capable of receiving it. This seals the learning. You will understand that the greatest blessing was not the event itself, but the person you became in the process. The event is merely the external confirmation of a transformation that has already taken place internally. It is the universe mirroring back the strength, resilience, and beauty that you cultivated in the darkness when no one was watching. This is the awakening of memory, the memory of who you were before the world told you who you should be, the memory of your direct connection to the source, of your power of manifestation, of your sovereignty over your own reality. What is coming is not something new. It is the return of what has always been yours by birthright. The convergence. This upcoming event is not an isolated bolt from the blue. It is a convergence. It is the point in time and space where multiple lines of probability, people, resources, and opportunities are being deliberately aligned to meet you at the precise moment. What once seemed a lonely and arduous path will reveal itself to be a main road, busy and full of support. You weren't just waiting in an empty station, you were being precisely positioned at the center of a complex map. Every delay that frustrated you, every door that slammed in your face, every moment of silence that tested your faith, was an invisible but essential course correction. It was the hand of the divine guiding you even when you felt lost and abandoned. Think of each detour as a necessary recalibration. That job that didn't work out protected you from an environment that would have drained your soul. That relationship that ended freed you for the encounter that is to come. That project that failed taught you the lesson you needed for the success of the next one. Nothing was wasted, everything was used to guide you to this point of convergence. The practice now is to expand your vision. Start looking at the people around you not as competitors or strangers, but as potential allies in this convergence. Open yourself to unexpected conversations. Offer help without expecting anything in return. You are activating the nodes of the network that has already been woven for you. By giving, you signal to the universe that you are ready to receive in the same way. The waiting period wasn't wasted time, it was a time of alignment. It was the necessary period for all the pieces of the cosmic puzzle to fall into place. You needed to be ready, but so did the other elements. Now, synchronicity is reaching its peak, and things will begin to fall into place with an ease that may seem shocking. Be prepared for the feeling that everything is happening at once. It's not chaos, it's convergence. It's the simultaneous harvest of seeds you planted in different seasons of your life. What you built in isolation is about to be connected to a supportive ecosystem of opportunity. You are no longer alone in this. This moment, this revelation is not just yours. It is ours. The energy you feel, the readiness in your bones, the calm in your heart, is part of a larger wave, a frequency activation that is sweeping the planet. If these words resonate in your chest, if you know, without a shadow of a doubt, that you stood firm when no one was watching, then it is time to anchor this truth visibly. This is not a request, but a declaration of power, a collective ritual. Go to the comments and write this sentence. I am living proof of the promise. The waiting time is over. Don't overthink it. Don't hesitate. Just declare it. Feel the energy behind the words as you type them. Feel the finality, the certainty, the sovereignty. By doing this, you're not just talking about your life. You're becoming a transmitter. You're activating that same frequency for every person who reads your statement. You're lending your certainty to those whose faith still wavers. We are creating a community of witnesses, a force field of people who refuse to give up on each other and on the promise. This act transforms a digital gesture into a magical sigil. Each comment becomes a point of light in a global energy grid. We are witnessing each other, validating each other's journey, and collectively giving permission for the new reality to fully manifest. The power is not in my voice, but in our chorus. Do not underestimate the power of this ritual. In many traditions, public testimony is what seals a transformation. It is the act of bringing what was internal and secret into the world of form, making it undeniable. By declaring it, you are telling the universe and yourself that there is no turning back. You have accepted the change. You are ready for your new life. Declare, receive, witness. The frequency is activated. The convergence is complete. The event that Thoth warned of, the great alignment, is not something that is to come in the distant future. It has already begun, and it has begun within you. If you've reached this point in our journey, it's because your perception was already attuned to this message. You're not here by chance. As an act of acknowledging this alignment.
And now, take a moment to truly feel what this means, because the warning of Thoth was never about fear. It was about awareness. The event was never meant to arrive with explosions in the sky or the collapse of cities. It arrives quietly. It begins inside people, inside you. It begins the moment you stop living on autopilot and start questioning the invisible forces shaping your reality. Most will miss it. They'll continue repeating the same thoughts, the same patterns, the same limitations, never realizing the door was open the entire time. But a few, the aware ones, will notice the shift. They will feel time differently. They will feel less attached to fear. They will stop waiting for permission to become who they were always meant to be. Because the real event is not something happening to the world. It's something happening through human consciousness. This is the separation between those who sleep and those who awaken. And here is the truth no one can take from you. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Once you feel it, you cannot return to who you were before. So if this message found you, it was not random. It means you are standing at the threshold, not at the end of something, but at the beginning of something far greater. The question is no longer if the event has begun. The question is, will you rise with it? Because the moment you choose awareness is the moment you become part of the change itself.